Hi, everybody. This is Carol Sherwood, and I want to welcome you to the Stephen Avery Back to the Beginning Mod Podcast, where the mod to the pod is music added to your video podcast. So, this segment is part two of the VINTASTIC series. So, we're going to stick with our same theme musical treat that goes with this, which is I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. All right, stay tuned for VINTASTIC Part 2, the finale. I believe I told you in the VINTASTIC Part 1, what really has stuck with me is the fact that in none of the photographs do we see a clear VIN number for the vehicle. I realize that there is car registration information. There is a copy of Teresa's insurance card. The VIN number itself, the 17-digit number with 3044 at the end, we do confirm that that is the VIN number that belongs to the RAV4 that Teresa Halbach purchased in 2003. I'm not aware that there are any other photos of the car that zoom in on a VIN label. And frankly, I doubt that there are because of what we've already seen. But let's press on. When I started researching the VIN, and I knew that it bugged me that we didn't get to see a clear picture, I went through the process of looking at every photo I could find and everything, any report, anything on the car, okay? After sifting through the bazillion arguments and debates on every social media site about the crazy color, green, blue, teal, then I decided, forget the color. So I just focused on the VIN. Went through the stickers, knew that those looked suspicious, believe they are absolutely falsified. And then a friend, another co-researcher, sent me a photo that I guess I must have missed it, but it's a photo of the chassis wall, okay? There are multiple pictures of the RAV4 with the hood raised, and you can see it's a picture of the entire engine, the whole engine compartment. There's one photo, and it is photo number 06. And it is a photo that's more from this angle. So if you're standing like in front of the car, like it looks like whoever the person taking the picture was, stood in front of the car, they had it kind of going that way, and lordy beholdy, there's the chassis wall. And there is the chassis number, okay? Now the picture's not zoomed in. It's far off, but you can squint and see there's a number back there. Okay. They call it the chassis VIN or the chassis number. It is not a 17-digit VIN number. There may be auto manufacturers who do put the entire VIN on there. Toyota is not one of them. So we're just going to focus on Toyota. Toyota hasn't always put the chassis VIN on every model of Toyota, but they did in 1999. You have the first portion of the chassis number that identifies the vehicle, the engine type, the year model. There's a couple of other things all wrapped up in a 5-digit number, okay? Then there's this little squiggly. It's like one of those little, one of those things. And the last 7 digits that are there came straight from the last 7 digits on the VIN. When you look at that original photo, and I will post it, when you look at the original photo, it's far enough off. If you squint, you can see 3044 back there on that back wall. Isn't that amazing? I'm going to be real honest with you. When I got that photo, my heart sank because I knew that number was stamped into that steel chassis wall. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, oh well, whatever. 3044, that's it. I'm just like, dang it, dang it. But have no fear. I didn't give up. I took a step back and I thought, what does this mean? Why would you show us a blurry picture of a sticker? Why would you still show us a blurry picture of a sticker? But I'm thinking there is still something that's not kosher with this VIN, with these photos not being clear. You've got hundreds of photos of, you got garbage bags, you've got the gun, you've got all kinds of, we get to see Stephen and Jody's underwear, and they're all clear pictures, but those doggone VIN stickers are not clear. So it kind of stuck with me. So a couple days later, I decided to go back to what I was doing. So when I sat down and I took the photo that the researcher sent me, I zoomed it in a little bit more just to kind of see if I could see the letters. What I did see that was kind of interesting, since the 3044 was in the light and the rest of it was in the shadow, was there was an odd little ghost figure under the 3. And I could see it. And I wasn't looking for it. It was just there. And I went, I'm going to need to take a look at that a little bit closer. I looked at it 4 or 5 times and I said, no, I can clearly see there is a number under that 3. At that point, I'm back on, and I'm back on my track, the scent trail of the VIN. I started looking for some kind of a tool that I could use that could illuminate those letters and numbers on there better than just a regular photo editing program could do. Because I took it, I went to the photo editing program. You can go to like PicMonkey, you can go to any of these and you can do the, super bright or the warm tint or the vintage or whatever kind of overlay that you want to put. And none of them would make it clear enough for me to really be able to see. I found a program, and there's only a couple out there. Now this has the free version, and then you can get the souped up version, but I didn't need that. I just wanted to see what it would do. So I went to the website and I popped in that photo. I went and read what each one of the little things do. And there's a couple of menus on it that say, one is like an illuminator, and then one of them is one that shows surfaces, like differences in the surface. What I actually did was I went and took the picture, the original FOIA request picture, and I zoomed my own. I just wanted to start with something that I knew that I touched, because I just needed to be sure that it wasn't a photo somebody had done anything to. And it's not that I didn't trust them. I just wanted to be sure. When you go look at that back wall, it's all, it's all dusty. Well, right where that 3044 is back there, if you remember what a little whisk broom was, it was like a little mini broom. It looked kind of like a fat paintbrush, a wide paintbrush, about 4 inches wide. But there was a little broom that you could dust off crumbs off the counter or whatever. So it looked like on this wall that a swipe of a broom thingy or a swipe of something that was about 4 inches wide whoosh, over the 3044. Everything else was still under the dusty stuff. And I was like, well, that's kind of strange. That just kind of stuck in the back of my mind. Like, why would you have a swipe over that 3044 and everything else stays shaded? So I went to a couple of other of the illuminator things. I clicked on one that put like a silver sheen over this whole, it made the whole wall. It made everything in that photo was all silvery. And you could see differences in depth. Clear as day. The 3044, at least the 3044, looked jagged, stood out further than all those other letters were all smooth. Remember I told you about the regulations. There's regulations. Toyota has its own font that they use for that chassis code. So, and you can go look up a gazillion photos on Google of Toyota chassis numbers for the US because they're a little bit different in Europe. But just saying, you can go look it up, and by Jovi, they all are smooth. They all look alike. They're all the same size. They're all the same spacing. They all line up perfectly. All I'm telling you is chalk one more notch that there's suspicion in the VIN number. And that is right on.